Here's an idea of what the outside of our new hospital looks like. And just to give a little bit of an orientation as to where we're located here on the southern side of Fergus, we look over to that direction there and we can see Reliable Ford, Canadian Tire, Target. Then there's the credit union, just our neighbor to the east there. As we pan around, we see we're looking at the corner of McQueen and Milburn Street there. And then as we move along, we see our other big neighbor, Zayre's Markets there, right on Highway 6. And then over at the corner, the intersection of McQueen and Highway 6, and right at the corner we see the Tim Hortons there, and of course beside them is McDonald's and the little commercial plaza. So again, this is what our building looks like. Here we are again, south edge of Fergus, just off Highway 6. And welcome to the lobby. And now we've stepped into an examination room. Here's our office dog Dawson up on one of our examination tables. These tables have built-in scales, so it allows us to weigh the dogs and cats without putting them on a separate table. They're also hydraulic, so you can see that he's getting taller here. Now we'll let him down. And we can kind of see that most pets, once they're used to it, find it not to be a big deal to be on these tables. Of course, they're stainless steel. Stainless steel is shiny, so pets don't like shiny surfaces. It makes them nervous, so we've put these black rubber mats on these tables, and of course they're wipeable and sanitizable, and they can be taken and pressure washed if we need to. And of course this gives them good footing, so they have confidence when they're on these tables. And again, it reduces the shiny surface, so they're a lot more relaxed on them. We like to keep lots of computing power around, and basically we don't want to be wasting time searching through screens for medical records or lab data or any other type of information that we can get now, either from our in-house databases or through our online databases, and of course the general internet there. The second, coming out of this room, of course, takes us in the back, but then we have a second room laid out somewhat similar to the first one, except it's a bit bigger. Gives us a bit more room if extra people come along with the pet for a visit, or the pet's one of the larger dogs perhaps, or the family opts to bring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patients all at the same time. Like I said before, lots of computing horsepower in this room as well. One spot there for the doctor or the technician to input data, second station for the same job, or if needs be, we can quickly jump onto the internet to see what kind of data is out there, whether the family's been accessing some information on the internet that needs to be evaluated for its accuracy or its practicality for their particular circumstances. Again, just quickly, Hopefully some of you have already met Katrina, which is just a quick click there. We ask her a question and...
Hello, I am Katrina here to answer questions about your pet health maintenance, preventative care, and harm reduction. I also am your guide to the www.fergusveterinary-animal website. On this page is the blog where we post lost and found pets and recent news on animal health. There is an icon to take you to our online web store. The web store provides more selection and lower prices than are possible by holding stock in our clinic. If you do not have a login for the web store, contact reception. Purchases can be delivered here for pickup or directly to your address. Also, there is a place to log in to get access to your pet's electronic medical records, copies of vaccine certificates, and so on. Return to the website frequently to stay up to date with the blog and so on.
Coming out through this door, of course, takes us into our hospital area. We have 3 of these areas currently. They are all individually heated, individually ventilated. We have heating and ventilation controls on the wall here. This one's just been cleaned, so it's still standing up for being dried. We have the decking there that when it's laid down on the floor keeps pets up off the floor, allows any liquids or any spilled water or spilled food to drain down through so the pet stays dry. These floors have heat underneath them. There's little electric wires so we can heat the floor. We have infrared heaters in the ceiling so we can heat the air, we can heat the pet, and of course we have inlet and outlet ventilations which are separate for each one of these units, so they're very much isolated. They're very much customizable for heat settings, so for every pet we can put them in their correct comfort zone. And here's one that's already got the deck down, set up, ready to go there. Again, heat in the ceiling, individually ventilated, no access from one area to another. Drain in the floor, goes directly down to the waste removal water system there. And of course, here we have a basically a hygiene area, pressure sprayer, regular hose, other hoses, our office pet's water bowl, and this is where of course we can fill buckets, mop buckets, these types of things. And then quickly we scoot over here. Every hospital needs one of these. It's the autoclave. Allows us to sterilize, sanitize all our instruments as we go along after each surgery. Coming into this area here, oh, we quickly jump back. Jones here. How you doing, Jones? Meow. Meow. This of course is the laundry area. We do some lab work in here as well. The vacuum of course is in here. Some storage. And then we come into this area here. This is one of our work areas. Keep some of our pharmacy products here. Again, another computer over in that corner beside a phone, so nobody has to walk from a phone to a computer. We have them right beside each other. Again, we see the microscopes in the corner there. Of course, we have 2 of them. One microscope designated for stool sample analysis, so that's the looking for worm eggs typically in stool. The other microscope, a little bit more specialized instrument for looking at cells, parasites, bacteria, these types of things. Microscope that needs a bit more precision to it. And out that door, of course, takes us back to our reception area. And then as we swing past an anesthetic machine here, Up there we have our examination lights. In this corner, another computer, of course. Down in front of us here is a dental machine. Here we have another one of our tables. This one has a grate in it, so this is a typical spot where we do treatments that involve a lot of water or drainage. So things like our dentistries, wound management, that type of thing done here. Very convenient. Again, one of these tables that does have the scale built right into the platform, so we can get a weight right off the bat here, and like the other ones, hydraulic in nature, up and down at the flick of a button. Over here we have some of our lab machines. The Reflotron here does individual tests, so when we're looking for an individual value on a particular blood sample, this is the machine we use. We have a vet scan here. This gives us about 10 readings on a blood sample very quickly. So if it's a bit of an emergency, we need to know what's going on quickly. We have these machines here to take care of it. For some of the more specialized testing, as a lot of you would know, we send the samples off to the big labs down in the city because we can get so much more data from those types of facilities than we can possibly do in-house here. Down here, this is one of our patient warming pieces of equipment. The warm air device, basically when it's plugged in and turned on, it blows warm air out through this hose here, comes to this blanket. The blanket envelops the patient, and the patient is bathed in an envelope of warm, dry air. One of the unique things about this computer anyways is that with the click of the mouse, we've jumped over here, and this particular program and this particular probe here allows us to change this machine into an ultrasound machine, basically with the click of a mouse. Again, right here, right handy. If we need an emergency ultrasound, the system's set up to the click of a button, and we can get into our ultrasound technology. Just over here is one of our racks with some of our dental instruments in it. They've been cleaned, sterilized, laid out, ready for the next use here. And here's Jones again, telling us that he wants to be up in his little perch where he likes to sit. Let's get you up here, buddy. There we go. There. So there's our buddy Jones. He likes to perch up in here. When we don't need the space, we let him have that location as his little entertainment spot. We have bank of cages here for the dogs, smaller dogs, and most kitty cats. If they don't need to be in isolation, they're in for surgery, these types of things. This tends to be where they would be accommodated until they're ready to go home again. Just a few general cupboards and whatnot, and of course another one of our examination lights, and it's above what we call our tub table. So if we lift this platform up, we have a tub. When we put the top back, we have a table, and this is an area where we tend to do surgical prepping for a lot of the patients, collecting samples, grooming, bathing, that type of thing tends to get done in this area. And one of our fluid pumps, of course, to give intravenous fluids so that we can keep blood pressure in particular where we want it. This room takes us into where our x-ray facilities are, and this machine. We did move from our old location up at the north end of Fergus there, and it's been a good, steady, reliable performer for us for several years. So hopefully it'll continue to do a good job for us for a few more. And quickly stepping out through here. Hi, Dawson. And moving in this direction, we have another room, and of course this is designated as our surgery. Of course, another anesthetic machine, our anesthesia monitoring equipment. This one's a pulse oximeter. Up here is an electrocardiogram. Over here we have a capnograph and a Doppler ultrasound machine for facilitating measuring blood pressure there. Over here we have our surgical fluid pumps. Usually we're running 2 different solutions into the anesthetized patients. One is a targeted pain management solution. The other one is a designated solution to maintain blood pressure. So depending on the patient's individual response to anesthesia, it dictates how much of these fluids are given. Basically, we have found that this is the only system that, the only techniques that allow us to do the important things with respect to anesthesia, which of course is be safe and provide adequate analgesia and maintain adequate blood pressure so that there's no negative effects in the long term from an anesthesia. And it's hard to emphasize to people enough that these are very critical to the health and safety of pets undergoing anesthesia, or for that matter humans or anybody else. And unfortunately, in the interests of economy, these are often the things that get sacrificed the first. So you will find that we're very reluctant to reduce the level of our anesthesia technology, because it's kind of what's very important for the long-term health and safety of our pets. Another bit of pet warming technology for during surgery. We have the heat pump here and the heat pad. This circulates warm water in this case through this pad and keeps the patient warmed up that way. Again, the famous surgical light up there. Over in the corner here, of course, an x-ray viewer, so that if we're doing orthopedic work or any other kind of surgery where we need to refer to radiographs at the same time we're doing surgery, we've got a viewer right in the room here so that we can visualize what we saw on x-ray and plan our approaches to the surgery then. Tucked in the corner is a very useful tool. This is an oxygen concentrator. It's an emergency backup system should we have problems with our compressed oxygen tanks. And the other benefit to having this is that this allows us to put patients in oxygen enriched environments for basically oxygen tent if they are in a situation where their heart, lungs, their circulatory system, their ability to effectively ventilate is compromised. We can put them into a high oxygen enriched environment and let this machine improve the amount of oxygen their bloodstream's actually carrying. So just kind of quickly here, this has been sort of a behind the scenes visit here at the Fergus Veterinary Hospital, showing some of the things we have. Apparently Dawson is all wore out and somewhat bored and looking at us as if to say, is that all there is to to this day. Our buddy over here, Mr. Jones, oh, he's put himself in his little cubby box there. Like most cats, he likes to curl up in a box, so we've provided him with one up here in his little spot where he likes to perch. So hopefully this has given you a bit of an idea what goes on behind the doors here at the Fergus Veterinary Hospital. Back out to the front here, the reception area, and back to the front door.